Hey everybody, my name is Dan Clark, and I want to thank you for coming to my channel today, Life After Religion, my YouTube channel, and I just want to invite you to subscribe if you'd like to. I have about 110 videos now, and they go back over 10 years. I was a Jehovah's Witness for 40 years, and I was born in. And I've been out around 21 years. So anyway, thank you for coming and listening today. Today, what I wanted to talk about is how people get hooked by Jehovah's Witnesses. And I just want to talk a little bit about that because, you know, it's a process how we get hooked. But I want to say this. I want to say it's not all the Jehovah's Witnesses' fault. That part of being hooked is our fault. Because there's something missing, there's a void. You know, we're looking for answers. And there's good reasons sometimes why we're looking for answers. And a lot of those reasons have to do with life. You know, that life is like a roller coaster. You know, we have good times and we have very, very hard times. We have times where we've gone through divorce. We've gone through the loss of a job. Maybe we've lost a home. Maybe we've lost a loved one. Someone's died in our family who we are very close to. So what happens in those instances is we want answers. You know, we want somebody to tell us what's going on with life. See, this isn't always the case. When life is going good and we've got the good job and we've got the good wife and we've got the good car and the new house and the first baby, you know, it seems like everything is good and everything's going along good. We really don't need to know, or maybe we don't want those answers. But what happens is when a crisis happens, we all of a sudden become vulnerable and we start looking for those answers. And a lot of times what we do is we find a shortcut. And what a shortcut is when somebody says, I have all your answers. So that's generally what happens. You know, witnesses are famous for, you know, going through routes and neighborhoods. And, you know, you remember when we were in the Kingdom Hall, you know, we had all these different routes and different places we went. So as we traveled through those for years, you know, people's circumstances change. And so the guy that wasn't interested a month ago is now saying, what's this life about? And, you know, I have to say, the witnesses have a very good tapestry. Tapestry meaning they have a very good way they've laid out the scriptures. Yeah, you know, and they're telling us everything that we want to hear, aren't they? They're telling us we're going to return to the bloom of our youth. They're telling us we're going to live in a world of peace and security for everybody. They've told us we're going to build our own homes. We're going to be debt-free. They pretty much promised us everything under the moon. And doesn't that sound good? When you're in a crisis situation, and then what do? They tell us it's right around the corner. They said we can look at the signs of the time. And sure enough, nations rising against nation and kingdoms and food shortages and earthquakes. And of course, they say all these things are going to be happening and then the end is going to come. And so it's a very, very appealing message. And the reason I say it's very appealing is because there's, I think, 7 or 8 million people that are still in there. And lots more that go to the memorial. Now, maybe that's not the case right now. Maybe there's, you know, maybe there's only 5 million or maybe less than that. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is that message works for those who are vulnerable. So we've got to be careful when we're vulnerable. Because what I want to say is, you know, if we only knew what was going to happen after we got in, you know, we heard about the paradise and it's right around the corner and we said, man, that's good news. Tell me more. Well, God's name's Jehovah and, you know, the little bit of tapestry they run, a few scriptures they run by you. And you say, I'm in. What do I got to do? Take more knowledge. Take in knowledge. This means everlasting life, taking in knowledge. So we get in there and we start our study. And then wham, Jehovah's angry. Jehovah's mad. Don't ever think about leaving. You know, all of this stuff. And now we're haunted. Now we're haunted. We got this paradise and we've got this idea and it's so close and we don't want to lose it. So what do? We become a Watchtower slave. We begin to slave and do whatever they tell us. Well, here's what we want you to do now. We want you to write letters. We want you to, make the meetings on Zoom. We want you to do this. No, we're not making meetings right now. We're going to do it like this. And get rid of all your books and, get rid of all your religious stuff, your crosses, everything you have. I mean, we had no idea. Get rid of all your friends. Don't watch these movies. The bedroom. Don't take blood. We had no idea this went along with this paradise carrot. And then we were hooked. We were in. So, it's partly our fault. That we didn't do our due diligence. Due diligence just means research, 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 and research. And so what does that look like? That means going online, seeing what the good things are. Say you want to become a Christian or you want to become a whatever. Well, you go online and you look at all the testimonies and you look at the good ones and the bad ones, right? You want to take a look at the people who've left. Well, why did you leave? Look at the ones who are in. Of course, the ones that are in are going to tell you it's wonderful and amazing and it just goes on and on. But you want to look at the ones who left so that you can have a balanced view before you make a decision. And we got to remember this, because what I want to tell you is the witnesses isn't the last stop as far as somebody trying to indoctrinate you. There's a whole world out there of religions that are waiting to indoctrinate you. A whole world. I mean, I don't care what it is. I don't want to put down all the religions. I don't want to talk about the Catholics and the Mormons and the Seventh-day Adventists. Every one of them have a tapestry. Every one of them have a selected bunch of scriptures that they're going to present to you. And they all sound good. If you're Seventh-day Adventist, they're going to talk about the Sabbath. They're going to talk about why you should keep Saturday. It's one of the 10 Commandments. They're going to talk about the 10 Commandments and why those are important and so on and so forth. But it makes sense. If you look in the Bible, that's what it says. If you go into the Mormon church, they're going to have another tapestry of scripture that they've hand-selected, that they've pulled out. And they're going to talk about covenants and doctrines and, that God had a prophet then and he had one today. And then the next one, and then the Muslims, and then the Buddhists, and the whatever. They're all going to have a certain tapestry of information that's very appealing and that makes them sound special and makes them sound unique and makes them sound like they're the true religion. So it's up to us. If we don't ever want to get hooked again, now we've been hooked once, right? Hook me once, shame on them. Hook me twice, shame on me. And so the second time, I need to be slow. I need to do due diligence. I need to what was the word I used? Research. Go online, good and bad. And I won't be hooked again because, one thing's for certain in this life, everything changes. Everything changes all the time, just like today. Isn't it amazing how much the world has changed? I mean, it's crazy. It looks like Armageddon, doesn't it? I mean, you can't go to a movie theater. Everybody's wearing masks. They want to vaccinate everybody. And, you heard the scripture, that, we won't be able to buy or sell unless we've been vaccinated or got a mark on our head or something, But anyway, I just wanted to say that in order for us not to get hooked, we need to do our own research and not be lazy and not let somebody else do it for us, not look for the shortcut and figure out what you want this time. Choose what you want, what works best with your life. And you'll find that salvation that you're looking for. But don't let somebody, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you go to, what religion you go to. Everybody that loves their religion is going to talk about it in a very powerful way. You're never going to hear about the other side, that side of it, why people left and the anger. I know the Mormons was a big one, It kind of reminds me of Amway, and I just want to say, if you're in Amway and you're doing good, God bless you. I mean, people make a good living in Amway. But Amway's very, very similar to, the Jehovah's Witness religion. I'm sorry, but When I meet people from Amway, usually they come up to me and they got a big wad of gum in their mouth and a big smile on their face, and they've got a baseball cap that usually say, "I'm going to be a millionaire," or "I'm a millionaire." And so what do? Well, if you're not making a lot of money, you go up to the guy and you say, "Hey, what are you doing that's so happy?" "Well, I'm going to be a millionaire. I have my own company." And you go, "Wow, you got your own company?" "Yeah, I get paid to buy my own stuff." "Well, what are you talking about?" "Well, this gum, I own it." "Really? You own your own gum?" "Yeah, Glister." "Yeah, you see this shirt? I bought it from my own company." You go, "Wow, this is crazy. Yeah, I got paid to buy my own shirt." How many places do you go to? And pay the, Walmart or Target or whatever, and you pay them. I pay myself. And you say, "Wow, that sounds pretty good." And so the next thing he says, "Well, let me tell you how you can do it. All you got to do is buy this box of soap for $99 and come to some meetings and these pep rallies and, conventions and our meetings we have during the week. Put on this headset and listen to all the success stories over and over, and you'll be rich just like I'm going to be in the next year to 5 years." And so that's how it works. That's how it works. And I just want to say, that's really all I wanted to say tonight. I just wanted to say that now that you're out, and I know that most of the people that are listening to me right now, most of the people that are listening that go on my YouTube channel, I know they're not going into anything anytime soon. I know most people are out and they're done and, never again, But I just want to say it's easy. It's easy when you're vulnerable. It's easy when you're hurting. It's easy when you've had loss, when you've kind of lost your compass, especially when tragedy hits, like I've mentioned. So I just want to tell you guys, be careful. Do your research. You don't have to get caught in these things. Look at them through and through. Don't be afraid to look at the other side. I say, it's always wonderful to hear the cheerleader and hear the guy that's just going on and on about this thing. But look at the other side. Look at the other side too. Those that have left, those that feel like they've been deceived, those that are hurt, and why are they so angry? And if you'll look at it like that, if you'll do your due diligence, if you'll do your research, you'll never get caught in again. And I'm telling you, there's the cult of everything. There's cults in politics. There's cults in religion. There's jobs that are culty. I mean, everybody's out to get you. Madison Fifth Avenue's out to get you, with colognes and perfumes. And, if you don't have that, if you don't have the right cologne, the right smell, you won't be successful. If you're not wearing the right clothes, if you don't have a polo shirt on, nobody's going to recognize you as being a person who has some money. If you don't have Carrera glasses, Ralph Lauren's, I mean, everybody is out to get you. But, if we do our research, nobody's going to get us. This never has to happen again, because as it's a lot for people to break away like we have from Jehovah's Witnesses, and people struggle for a lot of years, and some people don't overcome the brainwashing. The brainwashing is so powerful and so dramatic and so fear-based, they never come out of it. They never come out of it. They bury themselves in meds and or alcohol, and they feel like, they lost this, they lost God because they're not a Jehovah's Witness, and really they've just unplugged from a program. But this does not have to be the case. Like I said, the old saying, screw me once, shame on you. Screw me twice, shame on me. So this next time, as we're out, we're looking around, we're researching, we're trying to find what we call truth, and we're doing our searching. Just make sure we're not looking for the shortcuts. And I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just saying, man, just research. And if you found something that works for you, God bless you. If you find something that works for you and your family, I don't care what it is. If it's a little community church, if it's not a church, if it's a 12-step meeting, whatever it is, if it works for you and it brings joy and peace and harmony, then go for it. Go for it. Follow your heart. Follow your heart. your heart, knows no boundaries. And we've lived too long in our heads. What's right, what's wrong, what's the truth? How do we know? Follow your heart, follow the love. I told people that before, that, and they were asking me, when I came out, where did I go? And I told them I followed the love. And man, people were so loving to me. Everywhere I went, people were loving. I thought, man, these people aren't like Jehovah's Witnesses described them as evil. Man, I had people do so many wonderful things for me and favors and take me under their wing and treat me good, loan me some money when I needed it, help me out in so many ways. I mean, it was a real blessing. And so I tell people handed me certain books they felt like would help me, and I read them, and they did. So I just followed the love. God is love. God is love. And we can follow that love. And that love will lead us to salvation. It will. I promise you it will. And so don't let anybody tell you, give you their religion, give you their whatever, unless you like it. But don't let anybody sell you that this is the way, this is the only way. We've all went through that. We're the only ones. We're special. We're Jehovah's Witnesses. We only know Jehovah. And then the Mormons have the same type thing. The Adventists have the same thing. And it's gross. It's gross. They edge out anybody not like them. Think about that. Yeah, when I visited the Seventh-day Adventists, it was anyone who wasn't like them. They edged out. They were kind of standoffish. They kind of looked at you. They never come to your home. I mean, it was rare one came to your home. And it's the same with the Nazarenes. It's the same with all these religions. It's weird. The Nazarenes usually the people are all kind of nestled around the area where they go to church, and then they go to that school there, the Nazarene school, and then their kids go to the Nazarene school, and there's college, the Nazarene college, and same thing. They all eat at each other's house. They all have their little get-togethers, and you're not welcome. You're welcome for a little while, like the witnesses. They all have a period of time where you're welcome. They have a little period of time where they're going to give you an opportunity to maybe join. They're going to say, no, we're going to have a get-together. We want you to come over. And so on and so forth. And they try to reel you in, with the love bombs and all this stuff. But the window's short. I got to tell you, the window for most churches is very short. If you don't come on board, they're not even looking at you. I mean, when you first visit a church, they're putting on a meal for you. They're having a welcome meeting. They're having this. But, if they see you, not coming around often or not joining or, that sort of thing, they don't even look twice at you. I'm telling you, I've been around a lot of religions, about 200 religions when we came out of there. And pretty much most of them were identical to Jehovah's Witnesses in that they were special. They had the only truth. They were the Nazarenes. They were the Adventists. They were the Mormons. They were the whatever. It was this Christian group. It was that Christian group. Nope. This Christian group, you've got to speak in tongues. We're going to lay hands on you, and you've got to. If you don't speak in tongues, then you haven't accepted Jesus. And it just goes on and on. I think there's 200 different sects just within Christianity with their own tapestry. And they're all, the gifts are done away with. No, the gifts are in full flow right now. We have access to all the gifts. Others say they're gone. It's a zoo. It's a zoo. But what I can tell you from my visitations was that, you've got a certain length of time to join and partake in it and show them that you're serious about their ideal. In fact, the last person said, "Are you going to join my church?" And I said, "No." And they said, "Why? Why wouldn't you join? We like you." And I said, "No." I said, if I joined, I'd have to accept all of your dogma as the absolute truth, and then I would have to edge everyone else out. I would have to say everyone else who doesn't believe just as I do, like say I chose to believe in the gifts. Well, those who didn't believe in the gift, I would have to edge them out according to that church, or vice versa. If this church didn't believe in the gifts and these people over there had the gifts, then I would have to say, well, those people are crazy because they believe in the gifts. So if I would have joined a church, then I would have had to accept the dogma that went along with the church. And like I said, it's like Jehovah's Witnesses. It just isn't so strict. It just isn't so, punishing if you leave. But it's a lot similar in regards to believe it or leave us and get out of here. And so anyway, just wanted to share that message with you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for listening, by the way. And if you thought it was helpful, please share the video any way you want. Pass it on. And if you know some people that you think my videos would help, tell them to subscribe. Tell them to listen to them. I try to be, level-headed and I speak from my heart. I don't have any notes with me. And I just like to talk from my heart to your heart and tell you the truth as I see it now. And I never try to direct you in any way. And so anyway, thanks again for listening, and thanks for liking my channel, like Life After Religion. And like I said, tell some people about it, pass the video on, and thanks for listening. Okay, thanks.